Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at VECHAIN. Let's get into the price action and see what's going on. Okay, so the primary thing we're still talking about here is the potential of seeing this as either an A, a B, and a C to the upside, looking for this target area of this 03901. Now, this would be looking for this move as a corrective structure. Potentially, if we do get a bigger 5-wave move up towards this 6184, what this could then mean is that within here we could rather have this as 1, 2, bigger 3rd, 4th, and then looking for a 5th wave. So this would confirm, a low point at this area. So now if we are talking about that possibility of having a break to the upside, we still need to see this 01789 area hold. We are right within this zone now, so we would be looking for potentially one more drop and then a look to break to the upside. We're going to discuss the internals of this. We do have some other ways we're looking at this where we could actually look to directly break down, but we're going to go over this one primarily and then we'll discuss that afterwards. Okay, so what I'm looking out for here is effectively that basically we are looking to break down in this corrective move. Now we'd be looking at this as a W and X and then treating this last move here as a Y wave. Now the way that we'd be looking at this Y wave would be basically looking at this as an A, a B, and then looking for this as an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to the downside. Now for as long as we remain below this 02060, I will be looking at this as a primary count here, where we are still looking for this additional 4th and a 5th. Now, what we need to be cautious of here is if we do break down deep enough, we could actually see this move develop into a 5-wave sequence, where if we do break down past this zone of this 01741, this could indicate that we could have an additional 4th and a 5th. We will cover this in a second. Now, if we do, however, fail to do this and we just get this as an A, a B, and a C, and we actually look to break down towards this zone of this 1822 to the 1775, this could actually tie in with the idea of this being a W, X, and a Y. Now, the one-to-one of this is basically here at this 0192, but this would tie in with actually coming into this 0.786 area, which would be here at this 1777. Now, within this area here, we do have some daily naked points of control, a weekly naked point of control, as well as that this would be a 0.786 retracement of this whole move. So this is quite an interesting level within this box area, which is between this 1807 to this 1759. So I would be keeping an eye on this if we do move into this level. Now, if we do start to break away from this, what we could actually see is that within here, possibly the way I'm counting this is incorrect, and we could argue that this is just this is a A, this is a B, and then we have a C wave into this low. Now the reason I don't like that is it would then imply that we'd have to count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is fine as a count. You'd have to say there was an extension in the wave 1, this is wave 2, this is wave 3, this is wave 4, and then this has been wave 5. So it is viable, but I am still, as long as we remain below this 2060 area, we can still look for this potential of this 5th wave. Now, if we are looking at this as an A, a B, and then a C wave to the upside, I would anticipate a little bit more upside here. What I'd be looking for would be potentially coming back up towards this zone here of this 02028 region and possibly getting a rejection off these levels. So keep an eye on this area. If we do move up higher though, this 50% of retracement of this wave 3 would actually bring us back into these highs here at this 2053 area. So that would be quite an interesting level as well. So if we are going to talk about this as a potential move that it could look to break out, we were talking about it in this way. We were looking at this as a series of 1s and 2s, but that's not validated, so I'm going to get rid of that. Now what we could still have here is that we could still treat this as a diagonal pattern within this move here, where we actually, the only thing that I dislike about this count is it would be saying that we actually had an expanding diagonal here, which is less common than the contracting variation, but still valid. What I would be looking for here for confirmation of this would now be to hold this low of this 1872 and to see this move start to progress to the upside. Now what we want to see is basically a bigger 5-wave move here, looking for this target of this 02074. So we'd want to see a nice clean 5-wave move, nice strong volume, and what we'd want to see here within this volume is as price starts to move up in this 3rd wave, we would want to see volume starting to increase here. So that would give us more confidence that we are actually within this 3rd wave. If volume remains flat, it becomes less likely that we are actually forming this as a 3rd wave. Now another thing I'd be on the lookout for here is if we just get this as A, B, and C, and we get a move up towards this 2009 area, this could actually then look to reject from that point where this could just be rather a W, an X, and a Y. So we need to be careful of that, careful of this double top situation where we could move into this 2006. But this is looking for that breakout. So if we did get a 5-wave move into this 2074, we would be looking for an additional 4th wave and a 5th wave, which could look to bring us to this 2114 to this 2089. An additional 3-wave move to the downside would then be looking for this as a 5th wave. Now, the thing within this count is if we want to treat this as a 1-2, the most common 3rd wave target here is this 1.618, which is towards this 2130. Technically speaking, we don't have to reach this to get an additional 4th and a 5th, but it becomes less likely. So if we do get this push up here, ideally what I would want to see is this 3rd wave getting hit here. So this 2130, hitting this would give me more confidence to say we have an additional 4th and a 5th to play out. So this is why we need to be careful. You know, if this just becomes A, B, and C, that ties into that idea of just having a bigger 4th wave here. And then we look to actually break down from that point. So we need to keep an eye on this. If we fail to develop, you know, a good 5-wave move here, it would invalidate the potential of this breakout. So if we did, however, get a bigger 5-wave structure up here, what I'd then be looking for would be that potential for a wave 2 to play out, and then looking for a bigger 3rd, 4th, and a 5th. Now, this 4th and a 5th could take us towards the zone of this 2689 to this 2590. Now this wouldn't really fit into the count here as a corrective move anymore, and what this would be rather looking at is potentially that this could actually be an A wave here, as A wave and then a B wave, or a wave 1 and a wave 2. So that's what I'd be looking at for within this structure here. So that's looking for that break to the upside. We need to see it actually play out though. Now, one thing we need to be careful of, and this is something we discussed before, is the potential that this could still be within a triangle. So there's 2 ways we can look at this move. That we can argue that possibly we have had a D and an E over here, in which case we're starting to break down directly. Alternatively, this could also just be a D wave in place here, and then we look to actually move back up for this E wave. So this is what I'm looking out for on a bigger scale here. This would be from much further back here, where we treat this as an A, B, C, D, and then we're looking for that E wave still. So keeping an eye on this zone here of this 2672 to this 2624. This could be quite an interesting level, as well as potentially looking at this high here of this 2659 as a potential swing failure, as well as moving into this center line. So there's like a little bit of confluence up here. We do also have this white box, which does have some weekly naked points of control, daily naked points of control, as well as being that 0.618 to that 786 is also within this zone. So if I actually just turn this on, you can see that more clearly. So we do have a golden pocket that's sitting right on these levels of these highs here, as well as that we do have you know, this weekly naked point of control towards this zone of this 2546, and then higher up here we have the weekly naked point of control at this 2812, and then the 786 is also up here in this range. So this middle range here though would be particularly interesting to me if we are going to see this move play out. Now, if we are looking for this to actually break to the downside in a 5-wave sequence, and treating this rather as 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're actually looking for that 5th wave. What we want to see is basically this 4th wave develop. Now, like I said, this 2060 is going to be our key area to hold here. We're looking for that possibility of a 3-wave move up, and then looking for this 5th wave down. If this does develop as a bigger 5-wave move down here, and we cross this zone of this 0141, what this could indicate then is that we have additional structure to develop here, where this becomes an additional 4th and a 5th, which could look to actually push us down here lower into this zone of this 1688 to this 1606 region. Now, technically speaking, this could make this move a B, and a C, but what we'd have to just be careful of is that this move in itself could also then become a wave 1. We get a retracement to the upside, and then we actually look to break down one more time. So we need to just be aware that if we do form this 5-wave move from this sequence, this can either be A, B, and C, in which case we do look for that possibility to reverse to the upside, or alternatively, if we fail to actually break back above, and I'm just going to go into this target box area here. So if we failed to break back above this 2408 at this point, this would indicate rather that we could see continuation to the downside. Now this would be looking for some of our lower targets where we were saying, you know, if we do still have a move to the downside, we could actually still see something come in towards this 00928 to this 598 as a potential fifth wave location. So this would tie into that idea that this could then become 1, we get 2, we get a bigger third wave down, 4, and then 5. So this is why if we do complete this as a 5 wave move here, what we need to do is be careful of 3 wave structures to the upside. So going back to that triangle, if we are however looking at this as a triangle, what we'd be looking for is that potential that this D wave completes and then we see this 3 wave move back to the upside. So we need to keep an eye on this as well. I will be keeping an eye on this center trend line here, though the trend line for this wave A to C is actually sitting much higher here towards this 3163. So technically speaking, that would still tie in to that possibility of this being a triangle, even if we do get a bigger move up here where this becomes A, B, and C into this higher region. But it is just interesting to me that we do have this golden pocket, which is also sitting right in this zone of the center line here, if this is going to be a triangle in this way. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So some other things I want to discuss here is the CPR on the weekly. First off, we're going to discuss that fact that we are still currently sitting within the central lines here. Now, this could mean that we could actually still see continuation to the upside, provided we manage to hold this level. So the lower line is this 1911. If we stay above these lines, what we could see is price could actually start to gravitate towards these S2 lines and this S3 line here, towards this 2098 and this 2053 respectively. However, if we start to lose this, this could actually indicate we could see a move down towards this 1848, this 1803, and this 1724. Now it could be that we move into one of these and then move away, or alternatively we could continue to break down into these lower levels. So this is going to be something I'm keeping an eye on within the counts here to see if we do get some confluence in either of these breaks within those zones. Now turning over to the monthly, we can see here that we're currently sitting between the R1 and the R2 line. If we had to start to get a bigger move to the upside, what this could indicate is we could actually come back into this central CPR line here and actually could look to retest this zone here of this 2272 to this 2384. And then basically from there, if we did manage to get back above this, we could even look to some of these higher lines in the S1 and S2 lines. 2548, 2878 are some target areas for this. So this 786 would actually tie into coming back into this higher one. Alternatively, you know, if we did come back to this S1 line that we do have here, that would actually look to potentially bring us into the zone where we could see something like this as a swing failure and then look to actually move away. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Everyone have a great day. See you in the next one. Take care.